Hi, I'm Micro Notewall, and welcome to Dad's Old Shop. And I got a new model. Poking at things. Cool. I don't really know what to do with my hands in this situation. That is what it is. So it was provided by the lovely Lizzie Luna. Great to work with. I feel very silly moving stuff around here. Usually you have like a multi-monitor setup. I do not have that down here. But a very amazing fidelity. So I'm very excited about that. Very, very excited. So let me just here a little bit and get everything set up. I just wanted to kind of give a bigger blow, a bigger, what do you call that? Expanded view. Hey, how's it going, Sugi? Because I am just like not used to having all this in the frame. But a lot of new expressions. I do have to key it up in Live 2D because there's some stuff that it definitely could do better, and some of that's just Live 2D itself. Also, apparently I'll be teaching myself eBridger, which is fine. Not like I need to learn anything else in my life. All right. So we're going to put it through its paces a little bit here in doing a little bit more work on the bellows. I had some time to rethink stuff. There was part of it is keeping it sealed. Let me grab my leather here. And I've cut through the drawing that I was using to explain it earlier. Yeah, like totally learning. So I can't use that as a visual demonstration. A very small fraction. So there's going to be two exits for air. Well, two entrances and exits for air. The intake, which is this hole here, this is the bottom of it, and then the front of it, where the air will go out. So, put the leather here, and it'll be made it to a surface here. That's why I have these inserts, which is what we'll be doing in the next slide. This is crudely chopped out. So making a nice mating surface there. So supposed to go be pretty tight so that when I expand the bellows, it needs to pull in air from somewhere, and this is the easiest way to get it. Air is like water; they're both fluids. They want to go in whatever way is easiest. So hopefully it will lift this up here. Don't know how far. It's actually pretty light leather, just to make sure that that's as easy as it can be. Probably won't go super far. Probably not do something like that, but as long as it goes, that's fine. This is one of two valves. This is the first valve. Because when I'm pushing down or having gravity squeeze it, this will be pushing against the bottom and stopping air coming out. It should preferentially go to the front. So when I reopen it, I need air to preferentially come from here and not from up there. There's two ways to do this. The way that I was looking up for historical bellows builds was just have this hole be bigger than that one. It works. It's not wrong. I am probably going to over-engineer this because I'm going to, because there's going to be a block that narrows down and has the air come in and everything will be attached to it. But in there will also be a one-way valve that will open this way out, that way, open out that way. So when you push down, this stays closed, air goes there, and then when you raise it, it'll try to suck in here, and then it will put this against a lip. Doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be faster than this. Also, I don't know how this wasn't an issue, and this is probably a skill issue, because, this is the first time me building a bellows. I don't know if there's suction up front on the place that's facing into a fire with coals and ash, if you risk sucking any of that into your bellow. It doesn't seem to have been a problem, and I don't know why it wasn't a problem. I just can't figure it out. There's not really, unless there's a manual that I'm missing and don't own, and there probably is about bellows making. Who knows, maybe Roubaud made one. I don't have any reason, I'm just going to throw this to the side here, as to why that hasn't been an issue. Wasn't an issue. I'm sure there's something really simple missing, but an extra valve isn't going to do a whole ton. It's not going to hurt a whole thing, just being extra safe and not bringing coals and ashes into my wooden bellow that is fireproof, but also air waterproof with hydrocarbons. Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Because the opening to the front is smaller than the intake. That's the hope. I might be over-engineering it, but I think I get one chance at this, and if it ever goes up on fire, I think my wife makes so I can't do it anymore. So I have the leather to do it. It's probably fine. But one thing stronger than a fire, it's my wife, so. These are going to be the blocks I'm just going to cut down and have them up front here. I might add an extra one, or cut these in half and do something. I'm not working off a plan. I just kind of have a rough outline in my head about it. Because I want to neck down to a 2-inch outlet. So I probably want a 4-inch round. This is too small. I was thinking about a 2-inch round, because that's what this would be. I don't know if you can see it super well there. My lighting isn't great. I didn't go camping, but my wife and daughter went to amusement park hop, and they got a little campground for themselves. So for dinner tonight, I went out there and got a fire starter for them, and we had a good time. After my wife spent days having me teach her how to make a fire, the second she needs to, she's like, "Oh, you do it." It is what it is. We had a good time, but it went a little bit longer than I thought, so that's why I was late. Also got stuck behind the slowest driver I've ever seen. The ones where you worry, where you're like, "Oh, geez, that is way too slow." But looks like they went to the old person's community. It all made sense. So I have 2 of these in here, and outline it here. I don't want to risk shaking everything right now for this. There is a channel here that I need to scoop out to allow this to fit in there to continue that seal, because this kind of sucks. It's not even, it's not level. So I could just chisel and mortar it out, but I'm also a little bit lazy, so we're just going to use a bit brace and just hog out a bunch of that here, just to get started. I do have my smaller chisels here, and I don't want to go through it. I almost did there. And there's some places we're just going to have to use chisels, because this was an old axe target, so there are some places where we really hit it good. And right here specifically is one of those places where we hit it really good, because I could feel us going through as I try to turn it there. And I don't want to wrench it apart. It's not letting me cut easy. I don't want to cut. This is soft pine wood. It should drill pretty well. The only time it doesn't is if it's bouncing, which it totally was doing there. There we go. Just as much as I can get. Do I have anything to... Let's get that away without me just blowing into my own microphone here. Usually when I'm doing this off stream, I just use a shop vac, and that is not a nice sound to hear. Small chisel. I have regular chisel. Here we go. So I am actually, let me just grab my rubber mallet here. Rubbing on the shirt. Yeah, sometimes I touch my face because it's I have it around my head. I'm actually looking at getting a new mic in a more standard style, like lapel, just because I really want a wireless microphone, and I have a wired mic that is better than this sound-wise, because I used to do interviews with people, so it's part of that old kit. But it is such a terrible use when you're swinging around tools in a small basement shed like me. So if you hear it again, let me know, and I'll try to see what I was doing at that time to make that happen. Because that should be, once again, it's not the greatest quality, but I'm actually thinking of doing it maybe within the next week or so, just because, like, I don't know, I feel like a better mic fits in with a better model, much better model. Also, this model can stick its tongue out, which is great, because, like, half the time when I'm deep in the project. My tongue is just out of my mouth because, you know, just you think better. Your mouth isn't just full of tongue. All right, had a bit of a split there, but that's fine. Also, I took some of the chips from this project to use as fire starters for that for the fire for wife and daughter. So did get some extra use out of it. Actually, let me see if I take those back in the light, because that makes this a little bit better. Now we just have shadows. I also didn't get my ring light set up. I'm just wholly unprepared. That's fine. Just getting back into the swing of things. I did have some family stuff come up that made me have to drop everything, which is always great, but that's what you get for being an adult. Sometimes other things come first. So right now I'm just trying to level out some of the waste. Lever, E-R. And did I bring my honing pad down? I know I brought it, probably left it upstairs. Because with the hatchet, which I brought to do the fire, because, you know, always need to split stuff and make kindling better. I did sharpen it before we went, because I only buy the most affordable of hatchets, as I just throw them every. So. Actually, I have to start thinking about the axe target for this year's party. That might be a fun stream project, because I've gotten pretty good at building those. I'm pretty quick at it, relatively. I actually need to do some work on the stand for it. Because the stand for it is 5 years old, 6 years old, of just pressure treated wood that's been outside this whole time, so it definitely needs reinforcement. It's done good. I'm very pleased with it. I'm getting my money's worth, but it definitely needs some stabilization. Because sometimes when you really rock it, like you really just hit something going 100 miles an hour through into that thing, it wobbles. And when it wobbles, your axe doesn't stick in as well as it should, because it's not imparting the force into the wood and the target. It's imparting it into the whole stand and moving it. So sometimes it makes stuff not stick as it should. Most of the time when it doesn't stick, though, it's just because throwing stuff has a weird sweet spot. And I think it's the organization that does axe throwing, you know, for competitions. They recommend what is equivalent to like 7 of my paces. Oh, fire pitted mulch. That's a good idea. Doing it for mulch. I got to start getting into mulching. I have enough to, I think, to start. I just have a hard time thinking of where I put it in my yard. It's like weeds always want to grow in it because I got a bunch of birds that love visiting and doing their own gardening on my property. And I have to take those out. I found it. I had a little stand of milkweed, like you had there, but I don't want it. I've gotten some cool bugs on it, like these red milkweed beetles. They were really cool. Never seen them before. But I want to plant sweet potatoes in that patch, so they got to go. So I dug out, and it was, you know, it was a good sized plant. They've been good there before, like 4 or 5 foot tall plants. I have a 2-foot hole there now that's going under the chain link fence to my neighbors, and my neighbors are fine with me digging and helping out there, but I couldn't get all of the taproot. I got most of it, and then I had to hit it with a little bit of Roundup. Not that I like to do that, but otherwise that taproot is just going to spawn more milkweed, and I don't need more milkweed in that spot. Don't need it. Although I heard you can eat the pods early on, like really early in their development, which is kind of cool. It's also kind of like pokeweed. Like, yeah, you can eat pokeweed, but like, I'm not that low on vegetables that I need to just go eating yard stuff that needs extensive preparation. I did my time. I did amaranth, winnowing all that for equivalent of a couple handfuls of really tiny popcorn. There we going. Let's see if I can. Do I got a brush down here? I should have a brush. I have a brush that's covered in alcohol, which isn't helpful. It's the shellac brush because if it's not an alcohol, it'll harden. Here we go. All right, so it's getting there. What about on this side? Okay. Okay. A little bit of widening, a little bit of deepening. Yeah, well, milkweed's great. Yeah, loves making more stuff. I am both impressed and annoyed at anything with the taproot. Like, at least potatoes, if you like get rid of them year after year, they don't stay. Like, yeah, they'll stay, but in general, the taproots will get, the things will get smaller and smaller until they don't like produce enough to be worrisome. But like milkweed and we have something else here. That's a taproot. I think it's a thistle. It looks like a thistle, like a burdock or something like that. That is it's just I'm just digging in my yard. I'm just like a dog now. I'm just there putting 2-foot holes in there. Like I'm just buying so much dirt. I'm like this close to getting a delivery of dirt and rocks. Just because I'm tired of going to the Home Depot and just like buying 300, 400 pounds at a time. Because like, that's, I don't want to hurt myself. I can do more. But also, if I were to get the maximum, I think my bed of my truck's only like rated till 1,000. I got a small truck. It's fine. It's good for most stuff. But like, it's like 40 pounds when it's around to 50. That's only 20 bags. And I think I need something closer to like 3/4 of a ton for rocks and everything. I did make a like rock garden or rocky area in the garden after I bought the house, just because I was tired of weeding. And it's nice because it's around my like raised boxes, so it's a different substrate and everything. But it pushed all that weight pushed down the soil, which makes sense. But there's also a bush there, so that bush is dropping leaves and flowers, and that's turning into dirt, and then pokeweed's growing in that dirt. It's all work, man. All work. So I think part of that is getting a bunch of pavers to put under that bush, and then mounting them in sand and all that stuff. For that, what do we call that? Sand to make like a circular thing around it will look nice, and it will be too close for stuff to grow out of, at least for a while. But I have to get all the rocks there because I can't make it at below what the rock level will be, because then it will look silly. Also, I also get milk thistle confused with burdock, because they look similar up top, but you can eat burdock much more easily than you can milk thistle. And when I make gimbap, which is like the Korean sushi, not sushi, I usually get burdock for that, and definitely not worth it for me to dig up a 3 feet deep of roots to get for a small component of a sushi-like dish. But burdock's tasty. I mean, I'm a fan. Big fan. All right, so let's see how that goes. All right, let me cut this to length and see how it is. So to length is actually, I think I marked it already. Did I mark it already? Did I outthink myself? I did not outthink myself. Okay. That's fine. Don't outthink myself. All right, so we're gonna go to about here. I'd rather overcut and then find my way back down. So there. Cut this nice and sloppy. Nobody will see this. This is the inside. Don't worry. I say to myself, wondering what I've done. Okay, and it's fine that this is a little bit lower because I'm going to eventually take a planer to all the stuff just to level it down. So it's getting close. Where am I getting held up? Okay, definitely getting held up on length. So we're just going to take on the cut end and take it down another less than a quarter inch. As I definitely don't just saw into my fingers. Definitely won't have that happen again. One day I'm going to make a supercut of me getting hurt on stream. I don't know what that was. Yeah, right? I shouldn't worry about it. Nobody's going to look at it. If anybody looks at the inside of this, I've obviously messed up and it's broken on the floor. I think I've only had four injuries on stream that drew blood, and only one that actually made me like stop. And I didn't like fully stop. I just like covered it. The one that made me stop the most was can't see it in frame. Let me see. Can I just jimmy it? Here we go. My vise has a big old knob handle here. It can't really see it that well. It looks like a Pokeball, you know, if done by an amateur. So I had taken that and had a something in it, and I went to undo it, and it dropped all that, lost all this pressure, and just tapped me right in the groin, just straight in the groin. And oh my god, that was not fun. That was maybe the second worst groin pain I've ever had after getting shot playing paintball. You play paintball, wear a cup. Don't be like me. You that made you bleed? Yeah. Was it power tools, hand tools, or just like wood splinters? Alright, just trying to clean this part out. This also doesn't need to be perfectly flat. I'm not looking for a flat bottom. It could be rounded. How I'm gouging at it, that's fine. Alright, so I think it's fine up top, right? Okay, so it's middle and bottom. Okay. The place where I was having trouble because it's loose wood. Okay. Oh, jump out of, yeah. They'll do that, man. Jump out, go right at you. I don't know what it is about Japanese saws, because I've never had that issue with like Western saws. Like it's not been an issue where they just sometimes jump out of the curve. Maybe it's because you're cutting on the pull stroke. I don't know. It's just an issue I've never had. One thing that I should probably look into is just zooming using software instead of actually physically moving it every time. I feel like physically moving it every time has been a hindrance, despite the actual amount of freedom I have from the weird rigging I have everything hooked up to. Yeah, usually when I have them jump, it's like I'm like right there and I hit my nail. I've had a couple times where, probably like 5 or 6 times, where I go when I cut my nail and that's it. Like it just scratches into it and I escape any real damage. I get stupid where I'm just like, I'm gonna chisel towards my hand. And then I had a couple. One, did it heal? Yeah, you can't really see it. I have like a little bit of a scar there. Also, my lighting is terrible. Because I didn't plan everything great. Like right there. Yeah, can't see it great because the camera's doing a great job at not focusing at things that get like right up in it, which generally be pretty great. But there's a scar there from a chisel where I just went, and that's from lead pipe from playing hockey with lead pipes because something when you're a kid you do stupid stuff. They were probably cast iron pipes. All I know is I got in trouble, but I didn't get stitches, even though I definitely should have. Oh, was it like a cooking knife? Oh, did you like cut across your thumb, like just miss, or? Okay, so it is just this end that I don't see very well. Okay, perfect. I think I just gotta dig in here a little bit. And come here. Oh, yeah. It's also worse when like it's something dull. Like I've been cut by a lot of stuff that's pretty sharp. Getting cut by sharp stuff is really fine. Like this right here was like a razor blade. Actually, the contrast is nice. I was doing miniature modeling and I was trying to get something off with a razor blade, and it slipped and my hand turned and I just was annoyed because I got blood on everything. But when stuff is like not sharp and it just like rips at your skin, that's the worst. That's absolutely the worst. I hate that so much. Then also you only have yourself to blame on that. Like you could have made that sharper. Just like how if I would have brought down my honing pad, this chisel would be less through its paces. I'm about to just take the drill to it just to get it done. Okay, so a little bit wider there, a little bit deeper there. Okay. Yeah, when I was teaching the wife about like where to cook on Empire, reminded me of you. I was like, ah, oh, just like my anime streams. She was trying to put everything over fire. And it's like, girl, that fire ain't where the heat is. Then I had to explain to her how charcoal was made, and she was a good sport. One of those things I expected to get a, oh yes, dear, you know. Okay, let me just hit a little bit. Yeah, I'll tell you, there's parts of you that bleed a lot. Your hands, your forehead, and there's just some places that just gush, man. I did burn all the hair off my knuckles on my right hand, though. Today, moving stuff that I shouldn't have. That's okay. It's hair. It's gross back. I felt really silly after informing my daughter why we don't run around fire pits. Then instantly just lose a bunch of hair. Right, I'm just going to take the drill to that just to get that kerf on that end. I feel like that, for some reason, just is giving me a hard time. Okay, that should be enough. All right, will you seat? I'm just about to make this slightly thinner. Make it slightly thinner. I don't have to worry about this precise fitting stuff. Yep. Okay, never mind. I got it. Never mind, I'm the greatest. Wait, no, I lied. I'm not the greatest. A little bit more here. Don't you roll off that bench. Okay, I'm going to shave it just a little bit. Yeah, shave on this side too. It really is like just this one little part of this corner. You know what? I bet you I'm hitting glue. I bet you that's what I'm hitting. I don't want to lever it too much either. Don't take shovels to the face. That's concussion fuel. Man, that's a big hit. They always suck, man. All right, I'm going to. All right, let me figure out what side is what side first before I start adjusting the insert. Okay. All right, we're going to just shave this a little bit more. Okay, and now it's the middle. Shave that a little bit more. Actually, let me do it this side here. And that one's good. Yeah, it'll do that. I mean, the sooner you get into that, the less scary things are, right? Like it's scary until it happens. Like my daughter just loves to run around with her tongue out of her mouth like a pug, and it's like one day you're just gonna fall and bite through your tongue, and I don't think we're gonna get you to stop that before that happens, but it is what it is. Also, I, as a child, also remember biting through my tongue, so apple tree. Right, and the correct alignment. Okay, yeah, it is just here. Okay. All right. One day I'm going to get a proper mortising chisel. Not that it would help in this situation, because actually I'm kind of being silly. I should have something under, like a block under this, because there's not actually anything supporting the back of the bottom of the thing here. There we go. Won't go too far that way. Actually, I think I need. Actually, so tight I can't reach it. Okay, cool. But I had that idea. Definitely got a lot of mileage out of it. All right. Well, I guess I can feel it now. Okay. All right. Let me just give that another brush out and. Okay. Okay. That's actually pretty good. Yeah. That should be fine. And we're just going to throw a bunch of glue in there. Hope for the best. Because once again, this part won't see a lot of wear once it's in. Once it's in, it'll just be like holding down a piece of leather. Let me not shake that too much. I'm just shaking it, just free form. Okay. Perfect. Actually, get in there and see what is. Okay, so it's actually deeper on certain sides. Okay, but that's fine. I don't need to go any deeper. All right, I might hit that with a little clamp. I should hit that with a little clamp. I have a. Oh, I definitely have a little clamp. Do it at the edges. I'll go grab the second little clamp. I don't even remember what project I bought these clamps for. Just needed like small, deep-throated clamps, and these are the best. You know, $3 to Harbor Freight gets you, which is probably the value of the project that I made. All right, that ain't going nowhere. Give it the incantation. All right, well, I think I got what I wanted done today. Wish I had more time to set up some of the settings on this new model, which once again, very happy, proud for. Also, I love that I could stick on my tongue. And we got another part of this, and then everything else will be planed to the same height, and then it is just the other part is like I don't think I have to make the whole box. I forgot my plan. I don't think I needed the whole box. I think I only needed 3 sides. I might not have, and I might have to do this part again, which is fine. It's probably better if I do, but I'll try to remember that plan because I didn't write anything down. And then probably the next steps that I would show would be the boring part of it. Boring. For the front nozzle there and the other valve. And also I guess the hinge and valve there. just because a lot of projects end up just being a lot of repetitive things, which is fine. I mean, most of woodworking is making boxes in weird shapes, or standard shapes. I definitely want to do a stream when I do the fireproofing and air resisting for the canvas, just because that's interesting. I have to figure out how to get that much water boiling, because the canvas needs a super saturated solution of boric acid, which isn't a hard thing to get. I have a bunch of it because it turns out it's also flux for blacksmithing. So I have a bunch of it. I can do it. The other part is getting, I think I have also the turpentine. I don't have enough wax for it. But it's like a turpentine wax thing for waterproofing. So I got a super saturated with the fire retardants, and then water airproofing it. So it's just a cotton canvas. It's actually like a 9-10 cotton, but paying 3 times the amount for something I'm probably going to break anyway, and I'll worry about getting something better later. I was looking at leather for it, and that might be, well, definitely would be for bellow 2, because the cost of material for the size of the bellow is pretty pricey. More than I wanted to pay for this, especially for something that's my first try that I'm going to mess up, which is fine. But having the leather is very helpful for making those valves. Because that's going to be contingent on the safety of this and making sure the wife doesn't get mad at me for burning down something outside that wasn't expected to be burned. So, well, thank you for joining me. I've been Mutgren. Well, I'll try to get a post out about what else is stream next. It'll probably be one stream next week. I'm getting back into things. And more. I've had a lot of things left, so I would like to do more. Hopefully in the next couple weeks I can increase that. But yeah, once again, thank you for coming. Have a good night.